All right, so job interviews, right? We've all been there. You're prepped and excited, feeling good, and then bam, that question.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you leaving your current job?
It's like a landmine. Right.
It really is. It's the interview question equivalent of a landmine.
Hmm.
But what if we could, like, figure out a way to turn that minefield into, like, a launch pad?
Okay.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into a Career Vids YouTube video. They say they have the answers, so we're going beyond the basic tips and, like, digging into what are interviewers actually looking for here.
Yeah, and what's so interesting about this video is like they break down not just like what to say, but like why it actually works, like the psychology of it. It
Mm.
gets into like the mind of that hiring manager, which is so key to like crafting the answer that's really going to work.
Okay, no pressure. Like, it's not my entire future career hinging on this one question or anything.
Right. But see, that's the thing. Interviewers put so much emphasis on this question,
Mm.
and it's because they're using it like as a window into your attitude, work ethic, your potential longevity.
So it's more than just giving a good reason for leaving.
Way more. Think of it like this. They're listening for clues that tell them if you're like running from something or if you're running towards something.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody wants to hire somebody who's just gonna, like, jump ship at the first sign of any trouble.
Right. Stability, commitment, that's valuable to any company, and they're trying to figure that out early on.
So what would you say is the biggest mistake people make when they're trying to answer this question?
This video nails it. And like right out of the gate,
Mm.
negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Negativity is like the kiss of death.
Really?
It doesn't matter if your current job is like the worst thing ever. You can't let that show.
That's gonna be difficult, though, because it's like, how do you be authentic but also not, like...
Well, that's where strategic framing comes in.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're going to unpack that, like some really powerful techniques for like talking about those reasons in a way that highlights, the positive your ambition without, bad-mouthing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Strategic framing.
Strategic framing.
Strategic framing. Okay. I like the sound of that. That feels, I don't know, more empowering than just, like, dodging landmines. So let's get specific. What are some of the don'ts that this video is calling out?
Yeah, well, so they actually use really strong language and call these the 3 phrases that will make you fail an interview.
Ooh, okay. All right, no pressure.
Right. But really, I mean, these are such common pitfalls, and they're just instant red flags for interviewers. So
Yeah.
the first one, kind of obvious, but really easy to fall into, is like just making it about the money.
So, like, even if you got offered double your current salary, like, you can't just say that.
You got to be careful
Okay.
because obviously, like, salary is going to be a factor in like anybody's career decisions.
Yeah.
But if you're only focusing on that, it kind of makes it seem like you're just, I don't know, transactional. Like you're not really invested in the work. You're just chasing a paycheck.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to seem like you're passionate about it, too.
Exactly.
Just the money.
The second big don't bad-mouthing your current employer.
Yeah.
And this should be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But it's surprising
Right.
how this trips people up.
I guess it's tempting, though, especially if you're, like, ready to leave. You had a rough time. Why is it such a deal breaker for interviewers, though?
Well, I mean, put yourself in their shoes for a second.
Right.
If you're sitting there talking about like how terrible your old boss was or like just gossiping about your coworkers, what's to stop you from doing that at this new job? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It makes you look unprofessional.
Okay.
And like maybe you don't have great conflict resolution skills.
So I guess, like, even if the break room coffee maker is a fire hazard, I just have to pretend like it makes the best cup of coffee ever.
You're exaggerating, but yeah, I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It's really all about focusing on like, what did you learn from that experience? What were the positives?
Yeah.
Even if it's how to do, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
survive on subpar caffeine, right?
Right, right.
The third don't is interesting because it's not like an obvious one.
Okay.
It's like a word choice thing.
Okay.
That seems harmless,
Yeah.
but it can really backfire.
Okay, now I'm intrigued.
Okay, so they say avoid saying that you are bored
Really?
in your current role.
I can see how that could be misconstrued, I guess, but why is it such a problem?
Bored, it just kind of implies that you're not proactive.
Hmm.
You're just kind of sitting around waiting for someone to like make things exciting
Right.
versus like going out and finding those challenges and making things happen yourself.
So if I'm feeling, like, stuck or unchallenged at my current job, like, how do I frame that without making it sound like I'm just looking for some quick thing?
And that's where, the strategic framing comes in.
Okay.
Because the video actually provides 5 alternative reasons for leaving that are all about positioning yourself in a positive light.
Okay.
Like, it's not about what you're running from, it's about what you're running to.
All right. So we've talked about, like, what not to say,
Right.
the landmines to avoid.
The landmines.
But now I want to talk about, like, what to actually say.
Yes.
How do we actually ace this question?
Well, this is where the video gets really good.
Okay.
Because it goes beyond just, like, generic advice.
Right.
It gives you, like, actual language that you can use to, like, reframe, your departure, I guess, in a positive light.
I like that.
So the first one, it's a classic, right? You've reached your full potential in your current role. You're ready for those new challenges.
Yeah, and that makes sense. It shows ambition. You want to keep growing. But, like, how do you say that without sounding like you're bragging? Or, like, that your old job was beneath you?
Right. So the example they give is, in my current role, I've been fortunate to be in a wealth of experience, make significant contributions. However, I feel I've reached a point where I'm ready for new challenges that will allow me to continue growing professionally. And then they add this at the end. I'm excited about the opportunity to contribute my skills and experience to a new environment.
Okay, so it's subtle, but, like, they're really putting the emphasis on, wanting to grow more so than, like, anything lacking in the current job.
Yes.
Okay.
It's all about what you're moving towards,
Right.
not what you're leaving.
Okay. What about the kind of the second reason? I feel like this one's common. It's, you're ready for a new challenge because the work has just become, like, kind of repetitive. Like,
Yeah.
you've been there, done that. But I feel like, how do you say that without sounding like you get bored easily?
Okay, so it's all about how you frame it, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be a positive thing. So they say something like, while I've enjoyed my time in my current position and have honed my skills, I thrive in environments that offer diverse challenges and opportunities for continuous learning. I believe this new role will allow me to expand my skill set and stay fully engaged.
Fully engaged. Engaged.
That's a good one.
Right.
That's a really good way to put it. You're not just like looking for a job. You want to be there. Exactly. What about, like, when the company's future is uncertain?
Yeah.
Which, like, that's a legitimate reason to leave.
Right.
But it can be, like, really hard to talk about.
You don't want to freak anybody out.
Right. And you don't want to, like, badmouth anybody.
Right. Right.
So they recommend keeping it, like, super high level.
My current company is undergoing some structural changes, and while I valued my time there, I'm actively seeking a role that offers more stability and a clear vision for the future. I'm impressed by the growth and direction I see here.
Very diplomatic.
Very diplomatic.
But, like, it makes sense. You're not throwing anyone under the bus.
Right.
Okay. So what about those of us who are motivated by, you want to learn, you want to develop, how do we make that a winning answer? Yeah. So this is all about, like, showcasing you're eager to grow. You want to take on those new challenges. So they say, like, I'm passionate about continuous learning and professional development, and I'm eager to join an organization that invests in its employees' growth. I'm particularly excited about the opportunity to.
Yeah.
And then you can mention, like, a specific skill or, like, an area you want to develop.
That's a good point, because it's not enough to just be like, oh, yeah, I like to learn.
Right.
It's like, show them what you want to learn.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
And then the last one, it all comes down to, like, career progression.
Okay.
So your long-term goal, aspiration.
Yeah. I think everybody wants to feel like they have, that upward trajectory.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what you want to communicate here. So they recommend something like, well, I've enjoyed my current role. I'm looking for an opportunity that offers a clear path for professional growth and a chance to take on increasing responsibilities over time. I'm excited about the potential for advancement within your company.
I love how all of these answers are, like, subtly ambitious.
Yes.
You're coming across as somebody who wants to contribute, but you never actually say anything bad about your previous employer.
It's like interview judo.
Yes, it is.
You're using their force, which is, the interview question against them.
Exactly. I love it. So we've got those 5 great, like, framing techniques. Is there anything else that you would add to kind of, like, really make this a perfect answer?
Yeah, like, more than just, the specific wording.
Right.
It has to be authentic.
Yeah.
So, like, pick the reason that you actually, like, connect with. You know what I mean?
Right. It can't just be some, like, canned response. It's your story.
Exactly. And then think about, like, the company, the role, and how you can make it really specific to them.
So important.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
Let your enthusiasm show.
Yes.
Like that genuine excitement, it's contagious.
It really is. This has been, I think, a really insightful deep dive
Yeah. Well,
because we've gone beyond just like the simple tips
right.
and we've really uncovered some strategies to, turn this question that could be scary into like an opportunity.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it's all about like, the strategic framing, keeping it real, keeping it authentic, and like letting your enthusiasm really shine through for that new opportunity.
And remember, you got this.
You got this.